Hello, everyone. It's Monique Hall. I am back for another installment um, discussing my journey from having suffered three successive heart attacks and my journey back. I promise that all of the stories won't be so hard to watch. This channel will um, become something still precious, but hopefully still inspirational, um, but a little bit more fun. So, with that being said, the next phase um, of this was after having permission to come back. Um, that started my journey, and it was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. My body was immobile. It was not moving. It was not showing any signs of um, awareness, being alert, um, any signs that I was waking up. I knew once I had permission that I only had a very small amount of time to um, encourage the staff to keep fighting for me. Um, Initially, there was the blackness. I had my outer body experience, then I returned to the blackness. Um, the Some people might want to refer to them as hallucinations or dreams that I had. Um, the first one was I felt like I was enclosed in a tube. The best analogy I could give would be like a sausage making machine. I just was trapped in this space and could not get out. I could not move my arms or legs. So I felt myself in my head shimmy up. Because I tried to go down and I tried to go up. Down wasn't working so well, so I decided on up. And while I was in this tube, and I do remember the color white, um, there were these images surrounding the tube. And the best way I could describe that is like when you walk in um, a small hospital gift shop. There were all these little things. Mostly, I remember um, the cheesy like little cards that the hospitals always have. Um, the get well soon with the rose on the front, or um, the just those types with the little comical things on front. So I moved through that experience, but I began to hear and feel. um, Probably the first was feeling my oldest sister Trisha's hand holding mine. Um, I first heard her voice, um, just pleading with me to come back, letting me know how much I was needed and would be missed. Um, just encouraging me to fight. Um, Immediately in, there was my middle sister Stacy. Um, she chimed in with the the implorement for me to not give up, that they loved me, and that they wanted me back. Um, Another image that I still recall, uh, and I asked Chris about this when we got home, and I asked him if he cried a lot, and he's not a very emotional man. I've only seen him cry maybe 3 times in the time that I've known him. Um, but I saw him, his face scrunching up and, being overwhelmed and just being overcome. And my sisters were comforting him. And I think I remember feeling his hands on me also. And as I became more alert and aware, it was just something that he would do, stroke my hair and my face and hold my hand. It was what everyone did. It was very hard, but I went to their voices and kept trying. I Once I felt like I was out of the tube, I tried to move any part of me, and I couldn't. I couldn't. I first tried my hands, and they were not trying to hear it. They would not move. And I remember being a little bit more successful flexing my butt cheeks. I'm like, nobody's gonna see that. Look, and I was just very methodical about it, and I decided to funnel all of my strength as it came back to me, to show that my alertness, any indication that I was coming back with my hands. And I believe in the video that Chris sat in with me, he kept telling the nurses that my hands had moved and that I think she's trying to wake up, and they had their explanation for it, but I can guarantee you I was working on overtime to come back to my family, to my friends, to whatever life would be available to me. The thing I found interesting was when Chris told me that they were very pessimistic about my brain activity. I have suffered some brain damage, but in my head, I was thinking like I'm talking during this video now. I was processing things, hearing things. I need to save the rest of this video to also share that in addition to my loved ones, I heard the doctors and the staff discussing my case, that was how I learned that, excuse me, that I had died. And I didn't find out later that it was multiple times. Just hearing that I had died was so alarming and so profound. I mean, that's like the immediate trauma setting in. I remember hearing Dr. Azimi and the other doctors discussing, sorry, um, the procedure that they did to put the stents in my heart. I don't know that I was aware that the procedure involved going in through my thigh. Even after I woke up, I expected to see like a scar down the middle of my chest. I didn't know anything at that point. But I remember a nurse, I think it's probably the male nurse that, according to my sisters and Chris, worked devilishly hard to bring me back. He never left my side, from what they said, and I never got to meet him. I do remember hearing that I was probably one of the last patients that he was working on at Rosemont. He was going to another hospital, so perhaps he wanted to leave on a really strong note, but and then it just goes back to God moving through that hospital for me, and how hard the staff worked to help me. He wasn't the only one, but I think he stood out the most, because when I did start to show signs of being alert and waking up, he cried, and that touched me greatly. But just hearing all the nurse chatter and having, back to the nurse, checking my eyes for dilation and shining the light in my eyes, and I thought my eyes were moving back and forth, that I was saying, here, I'm here. But after speaking with Chris about it, he said it was just them pulling my eyes open in a dead stare forward. I just couldn't make them see, and it just is terrifying, because I just know that if I took much longer, that other decisions could have possibly needed to be made. It's just just a miracle that I'm here, and I think there was another little segment where like the neurons were firing off and everything, but I think since I'm coming to the end of my time, I will save that for the next episode, where I talk about me waking up. But again, this is Monique Hall, sharing my journey, and really hoping that it will help other individuals that have shared in this experience, or family members that are trying to, to cope with it. That's me signing off. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.